In Macau, Zhang breaks into the police computer network to tamper with their video feeds. A policeman spots brief interference on his monitor, but it vanishes rapidly, so he dismisses it. Abruptly, a siren blares, warning the police that a major bank has suffered a break-in. They quickly dispatch their top squad and launch an AI monitoring platform called Spice. The system scans every surveillance device in the city and locates the vehicle with the criminals, whose hands are oddly empty. Several police cruisers race to that spot. Yet, they discover the road deserted. The officers at headquarters can still observe the robber's vehicle on the monitor, and they eventually understand that their systems have been compromised with fabricated footage, meaning the criminals have already fled. The following day, the police learn that just one vault was hit. It belongs to a rich merchant. One worker is compelled to unlock the entrance to the company's server, and Xiaoxin uses a terminal to give Zhang entry. While they transfer the file with the other half of the encoded password, they discover that this firm serves many significant clients, including the CEO of the most prominent crypto platform in the nation. His wallet. Police show up and the criminals rush to the elevator. Longshan is at a coffee shop in the entrance, so he can leave without arousing suspicion, though he inadvertently walks in front of a server while she's snapping a photograph. When the gang exits the elevator, they're spotted by the cops. So a pursuit begins. The lawbreakers knock down multiple bystanders as they attempt to locate an exit, but eventually they find the path obstructed and the officers reach them. The squad start battling each other with remarkable ability. And in the chaos, the criminals manage to seize Captain Yaolei hostage. The other officers can't shoot, so they must watch the lawbreakers flee into the elevator with their captain. Outside, Lon instructs his chauffeur to leave, even though the gang isn't returned yet. When the elevator arrives at the upper floors, Yaolei begins battling the criminals again, but he's just one person against four, and they overcome him by securing him to the barrier. The criminals exit on the viewing platform, and Yaolei rapidly releases his restraints to pursue them. Nevertheless, the gang has carried parachutes, so they simply leap off the tower to flee. On their descent, they shove a lady who grabs on the ledge at the final moment, and Yaolei must assist her. Since the elevators are compromised, Yaolei exits the tower by grabbing a bungee participant, and he lands securely on an emergency cushioned pad. Another squad of cops is ready for the criminals when they touch down on a hotel's rooftop, and another battle starts. The lawbreakers effortlessly knock the officers down and use concealed equipment and their disguises to leap off the roof. They rapidly swap their outfits while Zhang continues erasing all video from security devices so Spice can't track them. Shortly, the police's monitoring platform is disabled entirely, and Yaolei begins searching the hotel on foot. They activate their personal cameras so they can record every individual who passes, hoping the facial recognition program will identify them. Longshan also arrives at the hotel in costume and creates a series of disruptions to keep the supervisor's focus away from his gang. The criminals navigate around the various rooms by repeatedly switching costumes that enable them to appear as guests or staff. Yaolei spots Xiaoxin and identifies the jewelry from the elevator battle, so he pursues after him, but Xiaoxin conceals himself by acting to be one of the numerous patrons in the dining area. Abruptly, the device detects that one of the faces walking by isn't in the database, so the cops pursue the individual. Lung collides into an officer intentionally to smear his cameras as a lady, and his associate becomes an elderly gentleman, permitting them to flee. In the entrance, there's a unique lighting show, and the remaining criminals blend in the masses by acting to be protection. When the cops show up, the lawbreakers dive into the ornaments area and flee by crawling under the stage. Later at the police headquarters, the merchant begins shouting and smashing objects because his wallet has been drained. The squad discusses how to advance, and Inspector Zumai says they should retrieve her retired superior. Yaolei mentions that an elderly person won't understand how to handle AI monitoring, but Zumi reminds him that Spice is worthless now that it's been compromised, so they need somebody who recalls how to do police work the traditional way. Officers Jin Xiao and Shuo are dispatched to enlist the famous Agent Wang, whose record is packed with incredible accomplishments. He's a special operations winner, police combat champion, and skilled in numerous areas like weapons and intelligence collection. His sole error in his profession was mistakenly getting his colleague killed. When the pair reaches a peaceful area, they're stunned to observe Wang merely walking canines. Shuo tracks Wang to a coffee shop and acts she's just a pupil. Yet, Wang sits at her table and discloses he's observed her and Jin Xiao tracking him all day. He even knows her identity. It appears Chua is his deceased best friend's child, and they haven't met each other since she was a youngster. Wang praises her for receiving her father's identification number and continues to mention all the things the pair did incorrectly while tracking him. He's also taken Jin Xiao's identification without him realizing. Moments afterward, Wang is at the headquarters examining all the video the cops collected with their personal cams and whatever the hotel could locate before they got compromised. After viewing it for just a few moments, Wang readily discovers all the criminals because they glanced at the devices to verify if they were still active. At the gang's location, Long Shan begins hitting Ziyang up for the squandered time since it nearly got them captured. When Shaoxin attempts to protect him, Long Shan strikes him as well, angry because he's been recorded on video after years of existing in the darkness. A battle begins and Long brings out a blade, so all the criminals must cooperate together to settle Long down. After assembling all the images they could locate of the criminals, Wang observes a person in a lengthy jacket who also shows up a lot in the video. The police obtained the photograph that the server captured and determined that this person was also a member of the gang. Wang recalls a wanted previous agent known as the Shadow who belonged in elite murder unit during the conflict. He left the department in the 80s to pursue riches and disappeared without a hint in 1999. He believes this puzzling person is the Shadow coming back and wants to deploy a monitoring squad to locate him. Zumi clarifies they don't possess a monitoring the fitness center. Chua is attempting to exercise, but the other cops keep ridiculing her for being too little for a cop. Chua attempts to disregard them, but winds up reacting and battling them, readily knocking down an officer in front of his colleagues. Wang observes all this and praises her in private, stating this has gained her their acknowledgement. In the night, Wang consumes alcohol on the rooftop and recalls the passing of Chua's father. He vows to take proper care of her in his honor. The following day, Wang declares he'll instruct a monitoring squad, and Chua enrolls. He instructs them how to navigate without revealing that they're cops, and to retain every element, no matter how minor it may be. On the initial day on the road, the squad acts to be residents to maintain their disguises, but Wang retains Chua in the vehicle with him because she's his concealed advantage. Whenever somebody commits an error, Wang exits the vehicle just to reprimand them. 12 days afterward, Ziyang is attempting to organize a final operation so Long can be at ease and they can all withdraw for good. He's located the server position of the CEO's wallet, but the digital safe is challenging to reach. A memory discloses that all the criminals are parentless children whom Long Shan would frequently see to deliver them funds. In exchange, the youngsters assisted Long Shanghai when the police were pursuing him in 1999, and they've been unified since. On day 15, Shua ventures out to obtain nourishment begins, and she succeeds to deliver a few strikes, but there are too numerous individuals to battle them alone. At that instant, Wang appears and readily defeats all the individuals in moments while the targets flee away. Following, in the vehicle, Wang reprimands Chu Guo for nearly destroying the operation. She doesn't believe they're performing actual work, so Wang explains what occurred to her father. Ti were hidden for 8 months, and a youthful Wang was exhausted of performing nothing. When he observed some lawbreakers attempting to abduct a youngster, he chose to step in, and the gang nearly murdered him. Chua's father attempted to assist him, so the abductors fired him down before fleeing away. In sorrow, Wang explains Chua that a police officer must always remain logical. Moments afterward, Wang believes he observes Long Shan at the neighborhood bazaar and notifies everyone. The squad relocates to encircle the bazaar, while Wang requests Chua to track their subject up close, since she's the sole officer whom Lon hasn't observed. When Lon nearly observes 2 of the cops, they embrace to keep their faces concealed. Chua acts she's searching for something on the surface and observes Long Shan's image, verifying his presence. Wang prevents everyone from relocating the device or rotating around, so Lon exits without doubt. Following, the squad tracks him from the darkness and learns which structure he's entering into. Chua chooses to venture inside as well, and Lon identifies her from the bazaar, so he gets his blade prepared. At the identical time, Wang is verifying the video and observes that Long Shan glanced at Chua twice. Understanding he'll identify her, he hurries into the structure, too, and acts to be her parent, reprimanding her while extracting her communication device. Wang converses casually with Longshan and presents him a fruit, enabling him to get a proper, clear image of his appearance with a device concealed in the produce. That segment of fruit is released in the elevator before the pair exits. Longshan keeps to observe them. So Wang opens the lock in a random residence, and they venture inside. The woman residing inside panics, and Wang must restrain her to keep her quiet. Thanks to the fruit device, the squad observes that Wang Shan is traveling to the 8th level. Wang throws a heated container at him to delay him down, and they resume to battle all over the area, using random beverage establishment instruments and wrecking the belongings. They tumble into the small storage section, and now they must relocate on their limbs. After Longshan pierces his rival again, Wang strikes him back and makes the containers release on his skull. As Chua awakens, the individuals tumble through the collapsing surface and touch down back in the primary area. Wang Shan is about to murder Wang, but Chua strikes him from behind, so he assaults her instead. Wang hurries to assist her, and in the effort, his throat is cut. Chua attacks Lung to halt him, and he uses the opportunity to flee away while she inspects on Wang's injury. Fortunately, it's not deep enough to murder him. Then, Shua ventures searching for Longshan. By recalling the minor elements, she succeeds to locate him and transmits the position to the squad. Cooperating together, they succeed to obstruct all the roads and encircle Lan, who attacks on Guo again. Yet, he's so exhausted after the battle that she readily dominates him. Now he's detained for good, and everyone honors their triumph. Meanwhile, it's disclosed that Zhang and Zi Wang possessed a third sibling who was taken by international guardians as a youngster. After detecting the passcode on the headquarters security device, he releases the crypto wallet and uses the funds to position a payment on Wang, Guo, and Lang. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.